This is funny. Uh, oh, it's just little Geordie home and uh, all the action in the background. And this is pretty much my only spot to do this. My laptop doesn't work with crap for this kind of stuff. Hey, George, can you make sure you keep it down? Unless you're playing Christmas music. Son? He loves it when I do this. Jordan! It's like an old Dennis the Menace thing, eh? Dennis? I think that's what it's from. Anyways, okay. Yeah, that one. Jordan! So I was just doing the thing with Mark's stuff here. And let's just run that. Okay, Jordan, I just wish to do a show here, pal. If that's okay with you, keep it down. No, he's not even at half the throttle on the scale. Okay, how can I do this? Let's bring it around over here. Let's just let it run. I'm gonna turn off the. I'm going to turn off, desktop audio. There, now I can just do this and just do that. There we go. I just wanted that to run in the background. So, so I was just downloading some stuff on a USB for my one son. I was talking to my other son as we were having a yummy Canadian scallop. So they must have been this big, wrapped in bacon. Wow. Crazy. So okay. So anyways, getting back to this. So I was just talking to my other son. He was, just chit chatting, having a munch, and he just told me that BC has given it to the government insurance company here to deal with COVID fines. So there's your big trickery. Okay. So now they can bring your license into. And fuck with your livelihood even more using their traffic court. I thought that was pretty suspicious that he has to appear at traffic court. And I found it quite weird that the officer said, you can deal with this if you deal with this before or something when there was no fine there. So that made no sense whatsoever. So that means that they're going to go after anyone's license now. This is what I say. This is my certificate of live birth. All right? This does not presume anybody to be the legal person that they wish you to be within the corporate body politic. You get it, you carry it, you use it. It's yours. Well, it's a government document. But this is complete benefit for any man or woman that is born from this land. Simple. And you should see the difference in the new year. Like I say, I'm going to be showing people something you can do with this document that can actually further. It's there. The government designed to do this for a specific reason that's very, very important. Back in the days when we had a public service that did service rather than bully and whatever the hell else they're doing, right? So, yeah, I thought that was funny about the traffic court. Yeah, so now they can just go after your license, right? Yay. Now they can really screw you up. Oh, and then they'll get you into a whack of license garbage and lots more fines and all that wonderful stuff that goes on. Yeah, I see that. No, so here's a cool thing. I was telling you guys about a lot of times the system, they'll try and get you to hold court at the clerk's counter without even letting you know that they're holding court. So definitely, I sure hope Mark gets this. And so he knows ahead of time. Like I say, he's probably just going to get a lawyer. Because most folks just don't care to learn how to stand up for themselves. and face their accusers and cross-examine their accusers. And I'm hoping that I know he sent in 3 tickets to Rebel, and so I'm hoping that Rebel honors that with Mark. I'm sure they will. But I saw on Twitter earlier today, he's saying, "Hey guys, this is my 3rd ticket. I'm going to send it to you, but you haven't got back to me about the first 2. So something to consider." But after the shit that got laid on their lap, which is why I'm sitting here. What can I do? What can I do? I got to do shit. Read it this, not too much. Something I can do something. Not enough to get my name on a plaque, that's for sure. That's why I went to the Christian GoFundMe unit and to do a fundraising. Man, I would love to see those guys end up getting 1.5 mil so that they could have a budget sitting in the bank, having the banksters pay them a little interest, and so that next time somebody destroys Menzies' phone or microphone, or needs stitches, that the funds are there to actually, cover cover the poor guy, right? I'm loving that Menzies. He's kind of a goofy dude, but man, he's I don't know. Ken reminds me of kind of like a pit bull. Menzies, he's like, I don't know, goofy, with the serious side. I just don't know what to say about the poor guy, but I love him. I think he's great. So I'm just going to leave mine up anyways, I guess. I mean, I went through all that hell to figure out how to put one up there, so we'll see what happens. I can just change the heading from paying the fine to just raising money for the only legitimate. And I don't mean this to be an insult to True North or whatever, but I mean, pretty much Rebel News is the only, say, small organization where they're out there, they're doing daily briefs, nightly briefs. They're out there, they're going up north, they're going down south, they're going down east, they're coming out west, and they're going after, the people involved in the stories that are affecting your life and my life that every other news station is ignoring, and asking the hard questions to get the other side of the story. Who else is doing this? And I mean, who else is put out this way? I mean, these guys, I was just sitting here the other day, and it was before Avi's last little investigation that he just put up, and I was just looking at these guys going, holy man. Like, these guys are just blooming, okay? They're just blooming. Sorry, this isn't about Rebel. This is about Mark. So, obviously, okay, so I'm talking to my son. He's saying, yeah, they gave it over to the government insurance here. They have SGI, and we have ICBC. And that's all, yeah, and that's an unelected body. It's I believe that's that's a complete using something like government insurance for auto is totally about keeping the price down for insurance for folks. That was the whole idea of government insurance. And they've mandated and monopolized it in our provinces. Manitoba, out west here is Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and BC. And so to start using them as an arm of the government so that they can, what can they do? Bully you? And then, who here that doesn't live in a downtown core uses that license, uses that government license. And yeah, I don't want to get into the licensing right now, but I mean, who here, like everybody, like you within this nation, everything's so far and wide, and that man hauls equipment and everything else for his livelihood, and they have it now where it's hardship and that over the license used to have standing. They've taken all that away, and nobody was saying nothing. Like who has stood up and they're all talking about what's her face, the big Indian attorney general, that come out with this insane law that says a cop can come into your house 2 hours after you've been home to give you a fucking breathalyzer. You have no right to enter my home, and you have no right to use that government document to go around, to weasel your way around the law, okay, the castle doctrine, so to speak, to come into my home. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And nobody cares to look at the particulars on what a driver is. Even now, they used to put down laws, and now they, in the Highway Traffic Act, I'm seeing stuff like, if a cop believes this and if a cop believes that. I don't give a fuck what that guy believes. If I'm not breaching the peace by speeding or something else, he's got no business to stop and talk to me. None. He has no business to stop and talk to anybody. I mean, this is a law we have to get repealed. We definitely have to. We got so many bad laws on the book, and only you and I can get these things repealed. But first thing, we have to go on the attack. It's time to not just shove back, but it's time to go through this insurgents. These insurrectors. Is that a word? All right. So I'm getting all excited. So it was just, okay, traffic court. So I know why it's going to traffic court, because they're going to try and screw the man. So they can't. He's unable to work. That's pretty much what they're going to do. He's either going to pay a lot and beg to keep his license, or that's probably what they wish. Put him in his place and shut him up. So let's say you don't get tracked into holding court in the hallway beside the court clerk desk, or the clerk of the court's desk counter. Right? Okay, so let's say you actually make it into a courtroom. Now, the first thing that happens is they call your name. Now, anytime I'm at court, all right, and they call my name, I stand up with my arm in the air, and I say, "I'm the man." And that's how I say it, and that's how I introduce myself to the court. Okay? I'm cordial. I'm being courteous. I'm introducing myself to the court because that's a public forum. It better be a public forum. So the next thing is that there's the judge's clerk, usually a she, and she'll stand up and say, "You were charged with blah, 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 blah." Now, one time when I was at court and the clerk goes, "Blah, blah, blah." This is after they tried to trick me in the hallway, right? They were holding court in the hallway. It was dirty. That's dirty pool, man. It's just dirty pool. And they use the excuse of expediency of administration of court. Now, traffic court is a administrative tribunal. It's administrative court. But they have a way of reaching right into your life through that person. If they can presume you identify as a person. And if they read the charges out and they say, "How do you plea?" You can go so far, and then the guy in the black robe, he tries to deem you with a plea. Deem, in legalese, it actually means to doom you with a plea, right? And I don't plea to any man, Well, maybe I will if I need to plead for forgiveness, if I'm off base. But so this is why I don't go to any court without making sure that the court, I go and make sure my notice goes to their file. I make sure I get it time-stamped. If the clerk's office doesn't wish to time-stamp for me and they're screwing me around, I'll go get it date-stamped at the post office, which is a form of notarization, and I get it down there. Every paper I put in, if I put one in their file and I hand deliver one with witnesses to the man or woman who acts as prosecutor, all right, these are both originals. None of these are copies. They're both originals. It's been, pen, paper, and ink by my hand. Okay? I love the blue ink because that's the living man. Right? That's a man alive. Man alive. Man alive, young feller. So So you're standing there, say you've done all this, you've got your notice before court, and they're going to ignore your notice. They're going to pretend that they didn't get your notice and didn't see your notice, right? But before you even get into any of this stuff, the biggest thing about standing at court, especially one of these private, stupid tribunals, well, they're not totally stupid. I mean, they have drivers that are stupid that go there, but I mean, but these traffic courts, right? These administrative courts, administrative tribunals, because that's basically all they are. And one time I was at court and it was a provincial court where they can't see a man, and I'm there and I introduced myself as a man, like I told you, like I always do. And blah, 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 you were charged with blah, blah, blah. And I'm going, well, who is you? And I'm looking at my fellow woman there. And I go, who is you? And the judge, the guy in the black robe, screams out, you are you. And I looked at him and I said, sir, I am you. Right? Now there was an adjournment. We call it the you game. It can get worn out pretty quick. This whole thing about saying things 3 times and, fairy dust appears and beautiful blondes and with big boobs all appear and life is grand. That's, no. But saying something 3 times and then changing it up is a way to do it. Because 3 times means there's no mistake in what you said. It's on record as 3 times. The other difference is traffic court doesn't keep court record. Okay? Unless somebody is sworn under oath. It's administrative. And if you are sworn under oath, an officer can't be sworn. They swear officers. Are you officer? I swear to tell, and they swear in as officer. An officer can't swear in. An officer's not liable for shit. Only the matter of woman. So there's a way to deal with that when that happens. So you're at court and you just look at them and say, well, who's the man or woman? Because you have the right to face your accuser. And they better show up and they better swear under oath that you did harm, loss, or injury to somebody. So anyways, clerk stands up and says, da-da-da-da-da, and you say, well, who's the man or woman liable for the charges you wish to put upon me or put upon I? Who is the man or woman liable for the charges you wish to put upon me? Because somebody better be liable here. And the guy in the black robe probably see, well, it's the province. And I said, well, is Mr. or Mrs. Province here today? Or Mr. or Mrs. Province here today? Well, it's the state. Well, is Mr. or Mrs. State here today? Does a man not have a right? Always end everything with a question. Do not make any statements. If you make a statement, put it to him. To put means to question. I put to you, sir, you are a liar. So I'm not calling you a liar. When I put to you, these are parliamentary rules. But no, these are well-established rules. And, so like if you wish to make a statement, make your statement and end it with a question. Always end with the question. If you go into a court, say I got a notice ahead of me in a court, that I'm a legal idiot, and I'm not competent to partake in the legal society, and I'm not a legal code decipherer. Now, if any man or woman says I do wrong, I wish to compensate said man or woman, right, and make amends, and end this controversy. Who says I do wrong? And then you hand that over to the court. And you make sure you get that in court long before you're going into court so they can all damn well read it. And the first thing you ask them if anybody in a black robe is talking to you. Well, sir, did you not get my notice? Another question. Sir, did you not get my notice? Did this man not serve you with a copy of my notice? Is it not in the file? I'm sure I put one in that file. I did. I got witnesses right here. I went and served the man. I made sure that he had enough originals to make sure everybody had one. As a matter of fact, I think I went and I had it, they refused to timestamp it for me downstairs, so I went over to the post office and had a date stamped. And I'm pretty sure I put it in as a response through a response in the file. If I did put it through a response, that's another story. So don't let me give you any wrong roads to travel down. You know, my one buddy there, he always says, "Well, you don't pollute another man's case." I pollute cases all the time. Why? Because I do. Because it works. Simple as that. You damn rights I do. And that's just me, though. You know, in my way and what I witness to be true. So I don't look at it. He looks at it as polluting another man's case. I look at it as a response. You know, what if they got the right guy? The guy needs fair warning. Just making sure everybody notices my notice. Did you not notice my notice? So anyways, yeah, getting it hand delivered to whoever's going to prosecute the case. You know, sometimes if you hire a co-counsel, say ask a lawyer, say, look, I need co-counsel on this. You know, a lot of them won't do it, but some of them will, and then because they're part of the legal society, right? They can go in. They can just go in. They stamp, file all day long. You know, you could help somebody get your claim filed by using a co-counsel. I mean, there's many ways of doing things. But you're standing there and say, okay, Mr. King, you're charged with blah 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 blah. Well, okay, who's the man or woman that assumes all liability for the charges you wish to put upon I? Well, if there's no man or woman, what the hell am I doing here? Did you not get my notice? Oh, here. Well, hang on a second. Oh, here. I got a notice for you right here. Here, Sheriff. Give that to the man. You know, I know he's got the notice. The other man has the notice because I had delivered it to him with witnesses. As a matter of fact, they just happen to be in the court right now taking notes. There's going to be an adjournment real quick, and people are going to go discuss things. Somebody might even get yelled at. So a lot of times when you're in these administrative tribunals, a lot of times they will come out and say, you know, they may come back in and talk garbage. You know, anytime there's a pause and anytime anybody looks at you, say, well, do you say I do wrong? Do you say I do wrong? Who says I do wrong? And you make sure. You just keep calling out. You got a right to face your accuser. And it better not be, you know, vagina. You know, is this Mr. and Mrs. Vagina here today? You have a right to face your accuser. It's our common law right. It goes into the ancient common law. It's all over the place. You know? It's all over the place. It's natural law. It's common law. It's very common law. But, all right. So, yeah, so you're at court and that. And yeah, who's going to assume the liability for the charges you... And a charge, you know, you guys, you got to think about this. This is a charge. It's like charging up a battery, charging up a credit card, charging up one of those prepay things. Right? It has value to it. It costs. Right? I mean, I you know, you can go on with this thing and they're saying they can go blah, blah, blah. You know, and I can pull my checkbook out and I'd say, well, I brought my checkbook today. Now, who says I do wrong? You know? Who says I owe a debt? All right? So a few more things I was just thinking of. My son got me a little excited there about it. But I just wanted to add to Mark's thing. And I mean, there's so much more. There's just so much more. You can't just throw it up on here and just start babbling. But I think I'm getting better at babbling on the freaking computer. God forbid. Anyways, Merry Christmas again. God bless you all. And take care.